Hi there, and welcome back to the Treehouse. My name's Ree, this is the Tarot Tree, and today I thought, you know what, the channel's growing a bit, maybe it's about time you get to know me a little bit better. And I saw a tag going around called You in the Tarot, made by the lovely Heska at AardeKracht. Hopefully I'm saying both those things properly, because my pronunciation of things is not always the best. But yeah, I thought, why not jump on this tag and you know, open you up to the world of Ree a bit more, or at least how I view myself, and apparently how society, my friends, family, and the wider community do too, according to these sassy cards. Hopefully they're kind to me. But yeah, I've just realised I've gone a bit overboard with these Russian dolls. I thought, yeah, that'll fit the aesthetic, you know, all the different versions of ourselves that, you know, people kind of give us, these roles and identities. But now they just look a bit foreboding, staring at us and the cards. But hey ho, let's go with it. So yeah, first and foremost, I just want to thank Heska from AardeKracht for doing this. Her video I found very poignant, actually, just the honesty in which she kind of took on this tag and what she created it, you know, very sincere, and I related to a lot of what she said, especially in regards to how society views some of us, or potentially views some of us. It was a very, well, it has been, I haven't done it fully yet, obviously I'll get into that, but it's been an interesting exercise so far. I realised I had to show a bit of compassion to myself when picking out the cards that I get to pick out in terms of how I think people view me. So that was very interesting. Definitely, as someone who's a bit of a recovering people pleaser and has always had a sort of kind of preoccupation of how they may be viewed, or very confused about how they may be viewed by others. Yeah, it's been an interesting little exercise this, I have to say, and I look forward to it, seeing what the bottom cards reveal. So basically what's going to happen in this tag, for you that are not familiar with it, is the top row of cards here. I've picked the Blood Moon Tarot. I have selected, you know, pre-selected a card that gives my kind of opinion on what I believe each category believes about me. So we start with what society thinks about me, how my family see me, how my friends see me, how I would like to be seen, and who I really am. Okay, they're the 5 categories. And then in this bottom row here with the Lord of the Rings Tarot, we're going to basically, well, the cards are going to say what the actuality of things are, so how society really does view me, family, friends, etc, etc, and we'll just go on like that. So yeah, I think we should dive straight in there and head to our first category, which is how society view me. Now this was a very interesting one. You know, I chose the Hermit, and I'll tell you why. It's interesting, especially when you grow up in a very Western capitalized society. I live in London, it's the rat race, you know, everything's about fast movement, you know, success, business, you know, career. If you don't do that, what are you, kind of thing, if you're not making money, if you're not making a name for yourself. And so, you know, in recent years I've had some ongoing health issues which have sort of taken me completely out of that world. Not that I was really into it too much anyway, it's not something that really kind of resonates with me, that pace or that way of life anyway. So I feel like, you know, kind of being kind. I almost picked the Tower for this as well. But the Hermit, I feel like society views me as someone that's sort of, you know, kind of hidden away, has removed themselves, you know, might be a bit mysterious. I really like this Hermit card and the Blood Moon Tarot. You can see it's quite a dark one. Sort of symbolizes a meteor kind of making its way through the universe and the cosmos, observing, you know, and then landing when it's reached its kind of pinnacle, and this dark figure sort of sits on top. I guess that's sort of how I feel I'm viewed, you know. That's in a more of a compassionate view. Sometimes I feel like people might think, who's this hippie bum that's not contributing to society in the way we would like at the moment, if I'm being very unkind. So that's how I believe, you know, society sees me. And the Hermit, depending on your perspective, you know, some people do think of them as these wanderers, you know, gathering wisdom, you know, like almost guru-like people. And other people look at them and who's this shambolic, you know, kind of hippie walking around the place. So it's interesting. And I tend to feel that society may view me a bit more on the negative front, but that might be me being unkind. So yeah, I guess that's the journey. I feel like I've become quite removed from society and maybe what society would expect of me at this moment in time. And I think the Hermit really does have the energy that reflects that, you know, someone that's different, someone that might potentially be a bit outcast or you know, has cast themselves out, someone who's quite isolated, someone who's very interested in the other, and is removed. So yeah, let's see. Let's reveal what the bottom cards actually think. How does society view me really? The devil! Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Okay. Interesting. The devil. I don't really know how to. Whew. I am a bane to society. Oh god, that's how I'm viewing it. I get this like as though maybe society's a bit fearful of me in terms of, or people they view like me who don't want to kind of buy into this sort of like cog system and be a cog in this big kind of machine that's churning along. So maybe I'm being seen as a bit of a threat to that with this devil card. Obviously this is Sauron in this, you know, he was definitely disturbing the status quo, trying to make, you know, his own kind of regime. That's not really what I want, but maybe society feels that way about me, or maybe they're just noticing like that, yeah, I might be in a bit of a dark place and need to kind of beat my demons in that regard. That it could definitely be a part of it also, these sort of attachments, because the devil's all about attachments. And I would say I've had my struggles with my mental health, going through physical health issues too, so maybe that's playing a part there. But that's really interesting. The devil, I was not expecting that. Not at all. That's really, really funny. I guess I can also view the devil in the terms of attachment, like maybe I'm being viewed as I'm attached to the past and I'm not moving kind of forward in the way that maybe society would want me to. So that is why the devil's showing up too, which I believe is quite fair. It's quite fair. That's interesting. It's a very interesting thing, because we've got the sword there, which to me obviously denotes the truth also, like that sort of ace of swords there, and having to cut through the nonsense. Yeah, maybe they want me to get out of my head a bit. That's fair. I can deal with that, but it's funny. Okay. And also the devil, there may be something to be feared, I guess. If we marry that with that hermit kind of energy and the way that sometimes, you know, wider societies, especially in certain parts of the world and Western culture, view people who are outsiders, etc., or doing something different, there's a lot of fear surrounding that. And obviously there's always a lot of fear surrounding the devil, like the unknown and, you know, better the devil you know kind of thing. So I definitely feel like that's feeding into that sort of mystery of the hermit. And then, hold up, should we be aware of this? Like, what, you know, should we do to tackle this sort of thing? Do we want that kind of energy or thinking? What are they doing when they're off exploring or going into their inner worlds? Should we be worried about that they're stepping out of the status quo? They could be a threat. I'll take that as well. I would like to get rid of bad regimes. So yeah, let's move on to the next category now. That was entertaining. And that is, how does your family view you? Okay, and I chose the 7 of Wands, or the 7 of Skins in this in this deck. As you can see, this is like quite a defensive energy, I would say. This snake is defending its position against all the others that seem to be threatening it. And I would say, you know, it might seem a bit unfair, but I would feel like my family do believe I'm quite defensive, especially at this moment in time. I can be a defensive person and a stubborn person. But, you know, there's two sides to that. There's also that I feel they view the good side to that. It's like, when I'm standing up for something, I will not back down if I believe it's right. Which means I can be a very protective person of, you know, morals or ideals or of other people when I feel like they need that help and they're not willing to, you know, or they're not able or capable to stick up for themselves like that. I'm willing to defend what I believe in. And I do think that they view that in me. Obviously, there's a flip side to that. I can get a bit too far the other way, and I am quite argumentative. I've probably within my family kind of dynamic, I would say. So that's quite funny. I was just trying to be honest with that one with myself, but it's not completely negative. I definitely feel like they view the good sides to that also, you know, because the 7 of Wands there is, you know, you've got to that point and you're trying to protect where you're at, you know. You just got to kind of find your way with it and not go too far when you're getting too defensive. And definitely try and listen and take on people's opinions, you know. I think I've definitely view me as someone who's in this sort of mode of protecting my own energy, which is very true. So that's how I believe they see me, and based on what I feel they've said to me in recent times as well. So hence the 7 of Wands. But let's see apparently what they really think of me then. The 8 of Wands, that's very interesting. I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all, because that's very, very fast movement. And I would, you know, as you can see the Hermit card there, I wouldn't believe that anyone would view me as someone that's making fast movement, but maybe they are seeing me making progress. Or I feel like the people who are close to me always seem to think that once I kind of get the ball rolling, things tend to go quite fast for me. Once I've made that choice and I decide, I can be very driven and keep going. So maybe this is what this 8 of Wands is about, or the 8 of Staves here. That fast movement, like I can kind of get there. I don't know why I'm really drawn to this one spear. I don't know if you can see, but it's sort of got like some sort of material attached to it, and it's the last one with that. So maybe there's an issue or something coming up here. I don't know why I'm viewing that as, you know, if I can get rid of like an attachment or something that's holding me back, and it's the last one with that, then I will move very forward. Like I can be focused. I think I can be very focused. As you can see, they're all pointing in the same direction. As someone who has direction and focus, and I think I do have that capacity. I'm surprised that it's saying that my family see that in me, but that's quite interesting. Maybe there is an element of me just steaming and not thinking as well with this card and just kind of letting rip, which I will also take on board. I believe that's kind of true too. But that's very interesting. I really wasn't expecting that at all. The other vibe I get off this 8 of Wands is, you know, impatience. I definitely think my family would describe me as an impatient person. It's funny how different people see different sides to you, whereas I feel like a lot of other people outside of my family would say I have quite a lot of patience. But definitely because this card is so fast moving, it can definitely denote that, I think, sometimes. Also this need to want to move forward and move on and separate maybe for myself. Maybe that's what my family is seeing, you know, that I do want to head in the direction, I do want to make a break for it, which I think is quite true. It's quite an honest observation. And it's just come to me actually that maybe my family believe I am the one that's going places. I am someone within my family that will go places, which is quite encouraging. That's quite a nice aspect that could have been seen from this card. That's what I'm getting from it. It's just this this green sash on the spears just keeps drawing me in. Like, what is that? An attachment? Is that the green? I associate that with the heart chakra. Maybe it's finding what my heart's desire is and going for it. They know I'm a very emotionally led person, and so it will always be about following my heart. You know, all the spears are going that way. So that's quite an interesting take on that. And maybe they see as me wanting to travel and kind of move away, which I do want to do. Obviously, we've all had that being put on hold, so that's a very interesting analysis from the old family there, eh? So, the 8 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. It's interesting how I picked, and they're from 2 different decks, and they're 7 to 8, so maybe there definitely is some progress within me that is being seen by people, which is nice, because I really wouldn't have thought that in any way, shape or form. And transformation here again with the snake showing up and this sort of velocity here. Even this kind of green kind of ribbon sort of looks quite snaky, doesn't it? Interesting. And that's really interesting. I like that. So, okay, on to the next. How do your friends see you or view you? And I went for the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Songs in this deck. Beautiful character there. I was trying to be compassionate to myself. I feel like I've become quite isolated in recent times, a bit antisocial, to be honest. So friendships, they get strained in that regard, or you don't really see people, especially through the times that we've all been through in recent years. But I was trying to look at it as an overall, how I believe that they would view me, and I feel like I'm the person people come to for advice, for nurturing, to vent, I guess, to kind of support. And I feel like the Queen of Cups really does kind of embody that, you know. They know I'm a sensitive person, they know that, you know, I will listen to their emotional needs, etc. And I will try and guide them as best I can, you know, being compassionate, you know, because I do have quite a lot of patience and time for my friends in that regard. Or overall I have. I don't know if you'll feel that about me recently, but I feel as an overall kind of energy, that is how I you know, it'd be nice if they still saw that in me. This character here, she seems quite balanced, although I am quite struck, like, it seems like the water, like her emotions are flying out, which I think is sometimes, you know, our sensitive or empathic people have to be aware of. Like, maybe my friends will see that, you know, I've closed off a bit of this hermit, because I'm trying to kind of protect my own energy and not let my kind of, you know, cup sort of leak out, as it were. But overall, I would hope they feel like I am that kind of caring Queen of Cups kind of person still, and, you know, have a lot of love and compassion for them, and like to look after them. I do like to support, and I've always been told that I'm a good support and cheerleader for friends, and, you know, especially when it comes to giving advice, etc., and, you know, helping them through bad times. So yeah, I would hope that is still ringing true. But let's see what the real deal is. Whoa, wow. Whoa, made me feel a little bit emotional, this one. The 10 of Wands, and this, oh gosh, this scene in particular, you know, where Sam, you know, Frodo is sort of giving up there. How, you know, if there wasn't a testament or a scene to do with like true friendship, this has to be it, right? You know, the friend can't carry on, and, you know, even though Sam is struggling too, he's picking up Frodo and he's taking him, you know, to the last bit, and that's quite touching. If my friends feel like they know I've gone through a hard time in recent times, but I still try to show up for them, you know, with the 10 of Wands, they know that it's been a really rough few years for me on a personal level, but they feel that I am still strong in character to help lift them up. That's quite touching, actually. And it's also touching that I feel like they've no, the cards are to believe, then they've noticed that they know I've come, you know, through been through hard times, that the 10 of Wands is the end now, kind of thing, and they're hoping that for me, and they're wishing that for me. That's really quite beautiful. because wow, that's a very strong friendship card. I think anyone, if you know, if there was any true friend in any of fiction, it'd have to be Samwise Gamgee, right? It's hilarious. It's quite personal to me, this scene as well. It's something, a kind of running joke I share with my brother when I've been in quite bad times. You know, not really truthfully not being able to get up, and my brother would just to come into my room when I was younger and give me this speech. I might not be able to carry it for you, Mr. Frodo, but he can carry you. He used to like try and pick me up, genuinely. Yeah, my brother's crazy, my family are crazy. So this card in particular means a lot to me, this scene. And I view my brother as one of my best friends anyway, so that might be his energy coming through. That's really sweet. I'm quite chuffed with that, to be honest. That's quite a sweet card. So yeah, thank you, friends, if any of you are watching. I'm glad that you see that, and I'm glad because I feel like I have been quite MIA in recent times, that you know I still, you know, would like to support you even if times are hard, you know, for both of us. Wow, you're seeing inner strength in me that I wasn't aware of, so thank you. It's also dawning on me with this 10 of Wands card that in fact the roles could be reversed, and maybe this is my friends realizing that I actually might need that leg up and that help right now. As we've already established, I'm quite a stubborn person. Accepting help is not always very easy for me. It's been a very difficult path to tread in recent times when I've had to rely on others, I guess, at certain points. So maybe I'm Frodo and not Sam in this. That could be a very interesting take on that too. They think that I need help right now, and they're willing to help me through that and get me over that last hurdle. And I definitely have people around me that have shown up for me in that way, for sure. And as hard as that can be for me to accept sometimes, I'm grateful and appreciative for it. You know, we all need some Samwise Gamgees in our life, so it's nice to see that that's been recognised, and you know, people have seen the struggle and are willing to help. That's really sweet as well. I find this whole, this is very touching. Okay, next up we have how I would like to be seen. Okay. And that is as the star. Bit of an interesting choice maybe, but I'll explain it to you. The star, you know, is about kind of that hope, that wish, and particularly in this deck, I like this star because it's not just bright and happy. There's darkness still surrounding her, you know, but she is that faint glow in the middle, you know, she's coming out of that. And that's what I kind of hope to be, you know. I would like to be a guiding light. I would like to say to people, okay, you know, we've been through hardships, we've been through hard times, but look, I've got out of it, and so can you. I think that's very important. I feel like that's part of what my journey in this life is actually about. I feel like for any of us that go through hardships, there is a deeper purpose to it, and I do think that is some sort of collective reason to help, genuinely, as isolating as it can be. For me, I have this strong kind of feeling that all the things I kind of worry about, like, oh, it's too late, or I'm too old to have done this and that, I'm kind of meant to be doing these things at later ages to kind of tell people that it's okay, things don't always go to plan. Like when you're young, you know, you're very young, sometimes things unexpected happen and you get kind of rocked and shaken, like the star comes after the tower, right? You know, it's that hope after that shake up. And you know, I feel like I've been in quite a lot of a kind of suspended tower moment for quite a few years, and coming out of that, you know, as much as I'm glad like I can be that star and that hope for myself and keep that cultivated in myself deep down, even amongst dark times. I hope that can kind of be a guiding light to others also. I've, you know, given people comfort, guidance, whatever it is, in the way others have been for me throughout my journey. You know, when people share their stories and make you realize, okay, they've got through it, so can I. They done it at that age, so can I. You know, why do I have to be written off because, you know, why does society says so, etc. You know, because I am an idealist at heart, and I think I always will be. Sometimes that can bring its own kind of pain and suffering along with it, but it depends how you interact with it. You know, I do feel like it gives me drive, and some people might call it unrealistic, but sometimes I feel like that's just a kind of word people use when they're being pessimistic, in all fairness. So yeah, I want people to make their wishes come true. I haven't let that go yet. You know, I still have that kind of childlike energy about me, and I hope that if I'm not seen like that now, that I can be that in the future. That's how I would like to be seen. Also, I feel for me, like in terms of the star, it's that healing element, the element of, you know, being a healer. I do also think that that's part of my path. It's something I've been told often through other healers, actually. That is something that I should be pursuing. And I think it's often something that kind of, you know, a lot of healers that I've met anyway, their stories usually begin with them having to heal through something. So, you know, there's also that element of the star that I really would like to bring into the world, just to kind of be of help, healing and hope, basically. So, what are the cards saying? The moon, very interesting. It's so funny because this character in general, I got, apart from being called Lego Lass with a double S because I looked like an elf as a child, and my cousins used to mock me. It was playful teasing. I would always get called this character. This is Erwin. I think she's a very interesting pick for the moon because she obviously hides her identity, and we have a lot in common. I used to get called her because apparently I look like her, but also I guess my personality was quite like her. I was a tomboy. I always wanted to be with the boys. I always wanted to match them, do what they could do, be competitive in that regard, and face those fears. And I feel that's what the moon is about. I want to be known as to be fearless. And I guess, you know, they kind of marry, the star and the moon, they marry quite well if we're looking at it in that way. Especially if we're looking at it from her, you know, it's interesting that it's her character that's coming up here. Yeah, she may have been in disguise, but she was forced to be in disguise because of her circumstances, you know. I guess I just want to be seen maybe with that moon, bring it into the light of day kind of thing, you know. For me, like, maybe my strength hasn't been able to be seen because of, you know, some of the circumstances I've been in also. But the truth will come out, this sort of truth yet again. You know, she doesn't look fearful in this moon card. You know, she's confronting those fears. The moon is shining a light on those. That's really beautiful. And also that sort of feminine energy, you know, that divine feminine energy, like as a flip side to that, trying to tap into that you can be both. I think that's something that's important to me too, to embrace, you know, the fact that, okay, I've grown up as a tomboy, you know, I've grown up surrounded by a lot of male energy and, you know, feeling in competition with that. It really does build character. I don't regret it in any way, shape or form. I kind of embrace the aspect of myself, but also to embrace that sort of femininity as well, you know, that innate, you know, that intuition she had. You know, she was the only person who was able to kill one of the ring wraiths in the end, you know. Said no man could kill me. Now, well, she isn't, is she? She's embracing the fact that she's a woman by the end, you know, embracing that femininity and that strength simultaneously. So that would be really beautiful. I like that. That's actually really beautiful that the cards show me that. A really interesting take on the moon there. Confronting fears, embracing one's feminine nature. So yeah, I like that. Okay, we're on to the last and final. Well, that's the same thing. I don't know why I said it twice. The final category, which is who you are really. Okay, and deep down, I believe that I am the Empress. Big talk, right? It's a big card. I realise there's quite a lot of major arcana showing up here. I say that because I think the Empress really does embody two very core things about myself, and that is the nurturer within me and the creator within me. I'm a creative, and I also love to nurture. It's something I can't get away from. It is part of my nature. And sometimes it may go a bit onto the kind of more dark side of the Empress, you know, like this over sort of mothering, kind of gives away too much and doesn't keep enough for herself. You know, I'm aware of that. But I really do seek to get that in balance because, you know, creation is just something that's very important to me. In many shapes and forms. As you can see here, she's like almost like this queen bee character. I don't know if you can see like all the bees like around her, and this is almost like her hive, but it's like a home. It's a very warm home, and it's open. It's like her heart is open, the hive isn't closed, and that's how I'd like to be. I like that in this one it's almost like she's emerging out of that, because I feel that's sort of the phase I'm in. I've been in this hermit phase, but that is who I truly am, and I want to reopen that heart and that creation and that sort of nurturing and giving again, where it's been shut off for a little while for self-care. Yeah, I feel like that sort of creation and mothering and, you know, that kind of in touch with nature is just, yeah, it just sums me up really. It really does. And yeah, I don't know what more I could say about that. You know, the Empress is a really beautiful card. It's a beautiful energy, especially when in balance, and it speaks a lot to me and my personality traits, so that's why I've picked her. But how do the cards think I am? Who am I really? Oh my god. The Seven of Swords. I don't like that. Grimmer Worm Tongue. Oh my god. Sneaky, sneaky, deceptive. I think, I'll be honest, I feel like I'm trying to be kind to myself because that is a really unkind card, but I'm looking at it in the context of this, and I think it's telling me that in recent times I've kind of been betraying this part of myself, in all honesty, and not been showing it, like I said, like the inside. I've not been giving it the time of day that it should have been, you know. I don't think it's telling me you're kidding yourself, Ree, by saying you that. No, I really hope not. This character is very, very sneaky. I don't like him at all. Although I do feel sorry for him by the end, because he has been kind of, oh, okay, he has been sort of taken in and sort of lied to by kind of toxic people, i.e. Saruman. So I think this is a sort of nod to say, Ree, like, get out your head in the negativity, because it's taking you away from this. Almost like a clarification card. That's very interesting. Stop betraying yourself, okay? By keeping these traits to yourself and not being who you truly are, not making the most of your creativity, you know, not giving as much anymore because of hurt, you know, and kind of pain. This is who you are, and you need to embrace that more. That is what I'm getting from that card, you know. Step into these kind of roles once again. Okay. Wow. Oh, actually, I forgot. 2 cards actually flew out for that. I've just realised I put it down on the side here. So let's see, is this going to be even any more flattering to me? The Emperor. Ah, okay, then that makes sense then. Who I really am. Take control of these. Take control of this sneaky thought and this self-deception. That's what I'm getting from that, because we have probably my first ever love in the form of AardeKracht there. And I'm showing up as him, okay. That's interesting. I'm so glad. I was like, oh, I'm not sure, I don't like that ending. And I realised there was 2 cards that flew out for this. Stop betraying yourself. Oh, and that's so interesting as well. This stepping into your responsibility, your control and everything as the Emperor with Aragorn, because he's such a reluctant person, because he feels like he doesn't deserve that and it's not his place. You know, he spends the whole of the film kind of running away from that destiny and fate because he's worried that he won't fulfill it because of, you know, the pitfalls of his ancestors and his people. But he is a true Emperor. Okay. I'm really not trying to be kind to myself here. Well, yeah, I am. I deserve to be kind to myself. But this makes much more sense. These cards are speaking to me much more now. Okay, that was scary a little bit, but you're the Emperor. Stop deceiving yourself. I think that's very true. You know, I do feel like I need to take more responsibility and control within my life. I do think I let bad thoughts and outside influences and stuff hinder me a bit too much. And it's time to not do that, because I got a whole kingdom behind me, you know, that beautiful, what is it called? Not minister, is it? I call myself a fan and I forget what the big kind of beautiful marble white city behind is called. But yeah, step into this. Stop deceiving yourself. You're not this person, you're this person. It's a lot of, oh my god, and I just realised they're counterparts. We've got the Empress and the Emperor. Okay, that's big energy. Is that what you're telling me to embrace? Again, the sort of masculine and feminine, the balance. And I think that's definitely something I'm trying to work on this year. That's really interesting, because I do feel Aragon is quite a balanced character between feminine and masculine, actually. Like I said, he's like my first love. He's probably the person I look at, and I look at the traits and feel like, oh, future husband. But God, Viggo Mortensen though, you know what I mean? Wow, I just can't believe I didn't notice that as the Empress and Emperor. Balance these out, accept responsibilities, you know, don't betray yourself. Act in alignment with your higher good and your higher meaning, because you know what these are. Okay, this was way more profound than I thought it was going to be. Gosh, honestly guys, you should try this, even if you're just doing it for yourself and not filming it and putting it out there. I know it's a bit of a personal one, might not be comfortable for everyone, but for me, I'm cool with doing that exploration over the internet, why not? But yeah, I found that very profound. Again, I just want to thank Hiska from AardeKracht for making this tag. It was really, this was a lot of fun. It was sassy, it called me out, it surprised me, you know, there was twists and turns there with forgetting the second card that flew out. You know, quite profound messages, you know, we've got counterparts here, we've got all sorts of characters representing different aspects of the moon and the star and the devil, etc. So, oh, I loved this. I really loved it. And I hope you enjoyed it too. That's I'm going to close it there. Tell me your thoughts if you've done this, you know, did you find it profound? Have you got any takes on what you feel like some of these cards could mean? Obviously, I'm doing it for me, so I guess I should be the person that knows most about me. But, you know, I'm always interested to hear different people's interpretations of the cards, you know. So, yeah. Let me know if you like this video, if you like the channel, you like the content. Give us a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. It all helps, you know. Hoping to get more videos out there soon. And yeah, thank you for joining me today. I hope you're all well. I hope you stay well. And if not, I hope you make it through, you know, you will. Yeah, thanks guys. Bye.